Then I'm going to take just a little bit of the brown and olive chenille. I'm going to take about 1.5 inches on this. Because what I want to do is I want to create, right behind the head, I want to create a bump. So I can set my pinchers on. So my pinchers have a place to kind of set up. So I'm just going to trap the end of that thread there, just make a few little small wraps. Just going to wrap this around. All I want to do is just make a nice little bump here to start my pinchers with. Tie this off with about 3 wraps. Usually will hold it in pretty good. Cut the tag off. Okay. Now we want to tie in our pinchers. So I'm going to take a squirrel's tail, and I'm probably going to get maybe pencil thickness of the squirrel's hair. Cut that off. Trim that up. Grab that one hand, and this is actually going to be both pinchers here in one. So I'm going to take my bobbin, and I'm just going to kind of split it to where I feel comfortable it's in the center, and then pinch my fingers here, and then it's going to create 2. So create 2 pinchers. I'm going to lay one down, come back to that, and then I'm going to rotate and go to the bottom of the fly. I just felt it's a little bit easier not to have to deal with the hook point when you tie it in. I want to kind of do a measurement, and typically what I do is go behind the bump, and then I try to get about a 1/2 inch beyond the end of the hook to get my measurement. And I'm just going to tie this in. I'm just going to start to tie this in right behind the bump. Make a few wraps there just to kind of get it started, hold it in. And I'm going to trim the excess off. A few more wraps to make sure I got that secured. Then I'm going to rotate this thing, and what I'm going to do, what I want to do, is I'm going to do like an Adam's parachute style fly. I want to take and lift up all of the squirrel tail feathers, and I want to go around the bottom of this pincher. And we're going to create the pincher. It just makes it easier to move it around and maneuver it to where you want. I'm going to make about 5 rotations, 5 or 6 rotations around, and then I'm going to go ahead and make another revolution around the hook shank, and I'm going to go 5 more. What I'm doing is just creating a post on this tail, on these pinchers, to allow me to move them, place them where I want them. It kind of keeps all the fibers together. If you can kind of see now, I can actually move this pincher roughly anywhere I want to. Typically they're going to be sitting up about a 45-degree angle toward the hook shank, or the hook point, similar to what you see here in this pattern. Once I've got that done, I had a couple wraps fall off there, so make a couple more wraps around just to make sure I got that good and set, and then go around the hook shank a couple more times to make sure that it doesn't slip off. Now I want to take the balance of the squirrel tail that we pulled off just a minute ago. I'm going to kind of set that and measure so I have make the pinchers the exact same length. Hold that on the other side of the hook shank. Make a few wraps around, hold it in place. And pull the excess up. Trim that off. Get another good couple of wraps. Just make sure we get that. Oh, so I just don't want them to pull out on me. Okay. Then I'm going to pull all these fibers up, and we're going to do the same thing that we did with the other side. I'm going to make about 5 wraps. I'm trying to hold this up in the air so you guys can see. I'm going to rotate this down. It's a little bit easier when you're holding it to you. I know you can't see this on the video, but I'm just going to make a post. I'm going to go about 5 turns around, holding it, and go around a couple times around the hook shank. Go 5 more times for a total of about 10 to 12. So get that around. Go back around the hook shank a couple times. Now I can kind of pull those down and create my pinchers, as you can see. So the pinchers are done, complete. Just going to do a little more trimming here on this excess, just so I don't create a lot of bulk in that one area.